Okay, welcome back. So we're going to do some multiplication of binomials. Binomials are just polynomials with two terms. So let's do x plus 2 times x plus 1. Just to start simple. So what I would do is I take my x plus 2. So that's my x plus 2 binomial right here. And then I'm going to multiply it. So I'm going to use this rectangular model. That's x plus 1. Okay, so let's go back a step even and say, how would you multiply, 2 times 3? Well, 2 times 3 you could make into a rectangle that has a length 2 by length 3. That looks just like that, right? So 2 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 2, right? And I could put, my height there is 2 and my width is 3. There's a way I could model that. Okay, and now I could multiply, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, so I could look at each row and column and get the multiplication. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, and it turns into just counting instead of multiplying. So that's how we're going to simplify multiplying these binomials, is to basically treat it like counting, that we're going to multiply each part together. Okay, so right here we're going to do, what is x times x? Well, it's x squared, and this part fits right in there. And now what's x times 1? Right here we need an x to fill in that spot. Alright, and then what's x times 1? Again, it's x. And what's x times 1? Again, it's x. And then what's 1 times 1? It's 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. So my solution to the equation, or the expression, simplification of the expression, x plus 1 times x plus 2, would look like this. It would be x squared. And now let me regroup things so that I can explain what that polynomial is. X squared plus 3x's plus 2, right? So that's what the resulting polynomial is. It's x squared plus 3x's plus 2. Now, if I want to do, for example, this binomial. So this binomial now would be 2x plus 1. And then how about I do x minus 3. Yeah, so I'm going to multiply 2x plus 1 times x minus 3. So now all I do is multiply each part again. So I fill this in with an x squared, x times x, and no more x squareds, and then I multiply this, x times 1 is x, and negative 1 times x. So when I multiply a negative times a positive, it turns into a negative, so it's going to be negative x there. And that would be the same on all of these, right? And then a negative x, or negative 1 times x, again would be negatives here. And then negative 1 times positive 1 would be negative 1. So all of these would be negative 1s. Okay, so the solution would be 2x squared. And now I have negative 6x's and a positive 1x, so that makes a zero pair with one of them that gets canceled out. And so I have negative 5x and negative 3. Okay, so that is the multiplication of those two binomials. So as we practice these, you can see how these multiplications are happening. We have this x times 2x happening right here in this part of the multiplication, right? This was x times 2x's, and we can think of it kind of like I'm multiplying the 2x times the x is one step, and then the 2x times the negative 3 that was over here happens in this area, and then I multiply the 1x times the 2x and the 1, right? The 1 that happens over here. So the 1 gets multiplied by the x, the 1 that was here. So basically it's split into 4 little parts. So this was 2x squared, this was x times 1, which is x, and this was 2x times negative 3 was negative 6x's here. And then the 1 times the negative 3 also happens. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. And then I combined these two to make a negative 5, right? So this is the kind of pattern that happens is there are 4 multiplications happening, and then we combine any like terms after that. So you can kind of use this as an idea of the distributive property, but everything gets distributed to everything else. So practice around with this in your packet and try to think about what's happening here and how we're multiplying each term times every other term.